Good afternoon. We are live. This is the PharmTech 360 show. I'm Chris Klein-Dahlman. We have as our guest Beth Shelton. We're going to try this again.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Beth is from, right now, she is broadcasting from the Magic Kingdom in Orlando.
Live from the Kingdom.
We are excited. Let me quick show our RPHLI banner, and then we will begin the conversation. Good afternoon. Let me tell you a little bit about Beth. She's been a pharmacy technician for many years. Our paths have crossed. We really enjoyed each other's friendship. We did try this last week. It's probably going to be a little different. We like the outdoors. We like the spring season. Beth has been a technician, started in dispensing, moved into education. Right now, she's in customer engagement. And that means she's also engaged in a variety of areas for pharmacy technicians. So, Beth, let's start out by telling us, how did you get to be a pharmacy technician? And then we're going to discuss some of the pivots you've made to stay in your field, but also grow in your field.
Yeah, absolutely. So I started out in a small kind of chain pharmacy up in Wilmington, Delaware, called Happy Harry's Pharmacy. It was something that was kind of close to home for me and started out as an opportunity to kind of help me get through college. And so, the options were either go to a chocolate shop that was hiring nearby or go to Happy Harry's, and Happy Harry's was paying 25 cents more an hour. So it was a very happy accident, and the career trajectory obviously could have gone in another direction. But I was very fortunate to get hired on there and be kind of taught the ropes early on, and was given an opportunity to learn a lot about HIPAA. That was right around the time when HIPAA was like really kind of rolling out, and my pharmacy supervisor at the time kind of trusted me enough to kind of more or less oversee all of our training at that location. So that was really fun to do, and I kind of got the taste at that time for what pharmacy really was about. And after that, I ended up moving down to Florida and continued my education and had the chance to become certified, and kind of moved on a little bit more into a hospital environment and grew even more through long-term care. I've been very fortunate to be given opportunities to be in pretty much every role that would be considered a traditional pharmacy technician role. So, from long-term care, medication therapy management, every type of community pharmacy environment, sterile, non-sterile, long-term care within a retail environment, long-term care closed door. So really, I run the gamut. And that really kind of laid a good foundation for me to start a career in education. And I was fortunate to do that starting at 25. And so I was able to kind of work my way through my education career, got to the point of becoming program director for a school. That school kind of moved my career into being able to take my students into a school environment where the company that took us on didn't have the program available. So they purchased my program and gave me the chance to write a brand new curriculum, and I was able to implement that at several other campuses throughout the country. And so, from there, I kind of just expanded into doing contract work for career colleges and working in closed door environments, doing nuclear work and compounding CSPs for pain medicine. And so I'm kind of that person that is like a little kid that once I learn everything I can learn about the environment that I'm in and my job and my role, I want to know what everybody else's job is. so, you know, I'm like, what are you doing? What is that job? And I'm asking pretty questions and hoping that they have patience with me. so I've been very, very lucky that I've had really great coworkers at most of the jobs that I've had, and they've been very.
So, Beth, I think we had a moment where we might have lost you. One of the things that I've learned from getting to know Beth and developing our friendship is that Beth is motivated to learn. And one of the challenges we have as pharmacy technicians is that we don't have specific paths of learning. And sometimes we have to create those paths. And that's what I call pivoting. That's what in the PharmTech 360 channel we call pioneer. You know, we're blazing trails, we're finding those new ways. So I think what you've said, Beth, that should connect to everyone is if you don't see a specific learning path, identify what you want to learn, reach out, because with the internet and with so much digital resources that we have, so many digital resources, we can find the tools to learn and prepare ourselves. And you also talked about people who have helped you along the way. Tell me, when you were creating curriculum, did you begin to incorporate some of those advanced roles, nuggets of information, suggestions for making this a career and how they could continue when you were teaching that entry level learning? So tell us, how did you incorporate those nuggets into that entry level learning?
So that was actually a very important goal for me when creating that curriculum. I actually, within that curriculum, and then another curriculum that I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to help with up in Louisiana, we worked really long and hard on trying to create these little sections of advanced areas within a traditional curriculum. And obviously, you know, you're going to have limitations on, you know, what our accrediting body is going to require from us. And so, you know, you follow those rules for the accreditation, and then you slide in what you can. And whatever I could not do, I added into an additional program that I was offering.
So she's answering, I think, some of the questions that I see people ask when I make posts on LinkedIn or some of the other social medias. I try to suggest to people, we're in a very creative time for technicians, and you can create your own path, but it does take initiative. Don't rely on your employer to teach you everything. Don't rely on a specific pharmacy technician education program to teach you everything. It's not a destination, it's a journey. And you know, we want to give resources both on the conversation side, but also on the PharmTech 360 channel at RPH Ally. We are starting to bring people in to our channel who have these resources to help you develop in areas that you want, or at least have a learning resource to give you an overview of what you might like. Beth, tell us what you do now today as engagement in the pharmacy field.
Yeah, so I work for a company called FarmSaver, and essentially we are a platform for pharmacies, and primarily the dynamic that we kind of point towards right now is community pharmacy and long-term care. Those are our primary clients, but we actually can serve anybody who uses a secondary wholesaler to purchase products from. And so we have been kind of, sorry if you can hear that background noise, about to start
We're gonna go with it. Just go with it.
But so essentially, if you use a secondary wholesaler to purchase products, we've kind of been compared to like an Expedia or Kayak to an extent. And this is an attempt to prevent you from having to have multiple windows open in order to do your purchasing, or to have to communicate with, you know, wholesalers on the phone, and to have to juggle, you know, all of those different methods in order to get your orders placed in a timely manner. We know that you guys are probably going to be, you know, on the phone with customers, and have customers at your windows, and have the customers at your counters, and filling your prescriptions. And so it can be kind of frustrating when you've got a deadline to meet and you need to make sure that these purchases are made in time to get an overnight shipment for the very next day. So what our platform allows you to do is to have one place to go where you can access over a dozen different secondary wholesalers, find the products that you need, have them all in one new cart page where you can compare everything that you need, and then compare that information with what's going on with the primary wholesaler. So one of the key features that we offer is called PO upload, where
We can see Beth talking, but we can't hear her at the moment. One of the things that she does is, if you've captured, she's kind of like she's with a company that represents several companies that pharmacies, particularly independent community pharmacies, can go in and order from, second tier suppliers. But also, what Beth does is that she creates the communication tools and the connectivity tools to better understand how to use the resources the company has, as well as understand what's going on in the field. So,
yes.
Beth, welcome back. We've got
Can
you
you hear
out.
better now? I was
We
trying to
were,
get away
I
from
was
all of
pinch
the
hitting
lost
for
leg
you.
stuff. Thank you. You did perfect. That's
Yeah,
exactly it.
yeah. Tell us
So
about the blog
basically,
that you do and how you bring forward relevant
yeah.
information that feeds into, because technicians are going to be involved in the purchasing, the inventory management. They're going to be reading your blogs and the resources you
Yeah,
bring.
so my role essentially is
We've lost Beth again. What she does is she creates weekly blogs. She includes hyperlinks. They are often connected to articles, other digital resources, information, professional information, product comparisons, not by brand so much as by understanding the quality of the product, the kind of product.
yes.
Um, she's very, so even though she's working for a company, she's very involved in the concept of education again in her life at several levels. And Beth, you may have heard my description, but you're back again.
Yes.
So
Yes. Okay, good. So, but yeah, I'm very engaged in our social media and the blogs. But a lot of what I do is one-on-one customer engagement. I'm talking to customers pretty much on a daily basis and helping them navigate our platform, learn how to use it, work with our wholesalers directly, dealing with any type of account issues or, just triaging any particular problems that they might have and getting ideas from them. That's one of the biggest things that I love about working with FarmSaver is connecting with our pharmacies to find out what they need. So we can make a better platform by talking to the pharmacies to find out what it is that works for them. So, I mean, I would say so many of our enhancements come from these conversations. What kind of cool idea do you have? And, is that something we can get our developers to work on?
So, Beth, when you came to this position, what do you think was like? Could you give a quick list of some of the skills that you have that are tech related, but also, tech specific, I should say, but also those kind of skill sets that maybe are related to the kind of work you do, and maybe just 3 or 4 on the tech side and 3 or 4 on the non-tech side that positions you for this kind of job?
So as far as tech related skills, I've spent, like you said, a lot of time in different types of roles as a pharmacy technician. So in all of my years, have been in the role of the person who's doing purchasing. I know what it's like to be on that side of the phone call. And I know what it's like to be frustrated about needing to get orders sent, to only really be contracted with 1 or 2 secondaries, and to have what I feel like are limitations to what I'm able to get.
Mm-hmm.
And so my experience with that helps me to really understand what my customers are going through. I have so much experience with product knowledge, so that really helps me to better understand our inventory and, trending directions of where products are going and what's going to go on with our wholesalers and, gauge, hey, have you thought about getting contracted with XYZ wholesaler? Because it looks like you're looking for these kinds of products and I can connect you with them, they're going to have what it is that you need, you know? And so as far as non-technician related stuff, I spent some time a couple of years ago working on my mother-in-law's website and her social media for her rental cabin. And, you know, my experience and time doing that, I mean, first of all, it was so much fun to do, but that really kind of helped prepare me to step into this position and kind of take that knowledge and vamp it into what I'm able to do now for FarmSaver, and reach out to all of our current customers and use that as kind of a knowledge-based tool and a retention tool, and you know, providing instructional blogs for customers to teach them about these new enhancements, and then also using it as a means to educate folks out there who don't know about our platform and kind of give them an idea of like, hey, you know, this is a free product that's available to pharmacies that, you know, doesn't require extra effort from them, really. This is a way to actually ease their day and take stuff off their plate, and it's not going to cost them anything else. Actually, we're probably going to help them save a ridiculous amount of money, to be truthful.
Yes.
We get paid from the wholesalers, so you guys don't have to pay us anything. We're actually going to help you end up saving more money in the long run. So yeah, I mean, different skill sets that you guys have that are maybe passions, things that you would not have necessarily thought off the first bat are related to pharmacy could potentially be useful in the pharmacy field, if you're creative enough, if you're brave enough to think about it in those terms, right?
So Beth, our 15 minutes always goes faster than we imagine, but let's kind of
Especially with us.
So in theory, if somebody were listening to you today and they go, wow, she is doing what I want to do. I mean, she's connected to patients, she's connected to business, she's talking with people, she's sharing information, she's showing her passion. Really, in the simplest description, you've got inventory management as a focus for your current position. But what has helped you move? So inventory management, as we know, is an advanced role, and it can be credentialed, so to speak, or recognized with an advanced standing either through PTCB or NPTA, you know, through an exam, it builds that advanced status. But if someone's at entry level right now and they like pulling in the orders, they like fixing the orders, they like adding to the orders, they like watching the inventory come, they're watching, you know, things that are in short supply or out of stock, or, you know, even MedSync is an inventory management, you know. What you're suggesting is, if you want to build your skill, if that's what you really like, you know, you're sort of in the weeds and you like the inventory management, number one, learn your products. Learn the products in a specific area. You know, start out. You don't have to know them all, but start with a certain disease state, something that you're focused on. Learn the products, learn what the opportunities are, learn who the manufacturers are, get to know pricing, get to know availability, get to know distribution. And the more you
figure out trends, right?
Yes.
So right now we're looking at the Ozempic issue and what that's doing for weight loss, and now how is that affecting diabetes patients, and it's constantly being on back order, right? So be cognizant of what's happening right now in the media as it relates to pharmacy.
Absolutely. And Ozempic is a great example, because one of the things that I personally bring forth is as technicians, we're so used to task-based responsibilities, we have to incorporate that clinical view. Well, Ozempic, prescribed for weight loss, is now, we have to be aware that this is clinical, and this is being written off-label definition. But there's enough anecdotal information, and now there are studies kind of forming on what the impact will really be. So that's where our clinical viewpoint has to develop. But I think, in summary for today, it's grow, bloom where you are planted, grow from where you are, pivot. The pivot doesn't mean you have to bolt from your current position.
No, absolutely not.
Build from where you are. Build your knowledge of product.
Talk to your pharmacy staff about what opportunities are available for you. And if you're not sure what direction you want to go in, be that annoying kid and ask questions. What is this? How does this work? What is it that you do? Tell me about what your job is, so
Well,
that you can get an idea of where your interests might lie. And
and
then you can kind of sort of find a path.
yes, this is where our PH Ally, I think, is really the strongest. We are totally focused on pharmacy, and that means every member of the pharmacy team. So when you use our PH Ally, it's free. You can choose channel, choose any other channel. There are all kinds of channels with special interest, special practice focus, special patient care. That's where you begin to learn. You don't have to wade through the weeds of all the social media to track down something about pharmacy. So the
Right.
first step is join our PH Ally. That's why we're doing these shows.
Yes.
Connect with other pharmacy technicians,
Don't blame
connect
us.
with pharmacy professionals, because we're focused and we are bringing forth a lot of information. We can't get it out fast enough, but it's coming. So, Beth, it's been at 20 minutes, and they've been a great 20 minutes. I'd like you to
Oh,
offer
yeah.
a closing statement, and then we'll end our broadcast for today.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me back again. Thank you, Mercury Retrograde, for all of these little tech things we deal with.
That is right.
Yes, but we always find a way, right? And I think Jeremy said it last time. You know, if not pharmacy, if there's not tech difficulties, and then we always work our way through challenges. So that'll be my closing statement, right? Is keep your patience. There's always going to be a way to work around it, and work with your team.
That's
Because your
right.
team is always going to be your best support for getting through those challenges. So constant communication and constant teamwork is going to be your greatest ally for making it through. So.
Well, thank you, Beth, and do continue to join us. We're trying to reach the all the 4 time zones. We've got more programs on the schedule and a variety of guests coming from all kinds of areas as pharmacy technicians. So have a great week. We'll see you next Saturday, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Thanks, Beth.
And you guys can find me on farmsaver.net.
That's right. Okay. All right.
Bye, guys.